Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about why the 6105 reissue is priced the way it is. There's a lot of people out there that say, my goodness, that is overpriced. That's ridiculous. Seiko's crazy. They're drinking too much sake over there in Japan. They're trying to be Rolex. There was no way I would ever spend anything more than $500 for this watch. Or it should cost X amount. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are very opinionated, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they're very opinionated about the cost of this reissue. Why is it so expensive? That's what we're gonna talk about today. So first, let me pull this up in front of the camera, give you guys a good look. I bought the Japanese domestic market version of the reissue. So this is actually the reference SBDX031. It's exactly the same as the SLA033 for the global market, except Japan, they get the first pick of serial number. So they get, excuse me there, that Suratsu polishing. Seriously, that's no joke. I mean, you can see the reflection of my camera almost perfectly there, but let's see if we can get it to focus. I have number 149 out of 2,500. So as I understand, the Japanese domestic market versions have the first few numbers within that limited run. There's still 2,500 worldwide. So I got this one from JapanOnlineStore.com. Really just over the moon excited about it. And it's my favorite Seiko diver. I know I love the Marine Master. I love so many of their other divers, but this one is just the granddaddy of them all in my eyes. And so happy to pick it up. So anyways, I think it would help to talk about the original watch. The original watch was famous and popular in the 1970s. It enjoyed a production run of almost a decade. And I'll show you this advert here. You can see the retail price on one of these was $95. And depending on which year of its production you bought the watch, depends on how much equivalent money in 2019 dollars it would equate to. So I did some calculations of inflation, and on average, if you were to buy a 6105 with 2019 dollars, you would be spending just above $500. So when you consider $500 equivalent compared to over $4,000 for this reissue, where's the disparity coming from? You know, people are understandably shocked and a little angry. So first thing off the bat, this was always the plan for Seiko to reissue this at their luxury level. Now, Seiko is no stranger to the luxury tier. They've always had watches that have been expensive. I mean, their first quartz watches, they were far more pricey than the mechanical counterparts. And I mean, they've been releasing luxury watches for a long time. The King Seiko line, the Grand Seiko line, Creedor is their dedicated luxury high horology brand. So they're no strangers to the luxury price point. And it was always their plan to reissue this at their highest level when they started reissuing their classic divers, beginning with the 62 Moss. So the other part to that is Seiko already has the equivalent of the 6105 in today's market. And believe it or not, that is the Seiko Turtle. So if you look at these two watches, I'm gonna do some specs here on the screen. The original 6105 was a low beat movement, was non-hacking, non-hand winding, had a hardlex crystal, 150 meters of water resistance, aluminum bezel insert, had a rubber strap, and was widely regarded as just a solid tool watch. I mean, it was very popular with members of the military during the Vietnam War, and the famous Japanese adventureman and explorer Naomi Uemura actually wore this watch when he did the first solo expedition to the North Pole. I mean, this was on his wrist. This was his watch of choice. So again, it's just a tough, no-nonsense tool watch, very hard to beat. And you look at the Turtle here, which actually the design comes from the 6105. The successor to the 6105 was the 6309. And so it was a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more legible, a little smaller, a little easier to wear, a little bit more practical. And so, I mean, Seiko already has a large cushion case watch in that affordable sub $500 market. that is a professional no-nonsense diver that's ISO 6425 rated. It has an aluminum bezel insert. It has good lume. It has the low beat movement, but this has the added benefit of hacking and hand winding. And unlike the 6105, comes in a host of different colors. There's limited editions, special editions, bracelet options. So, I mean, Seiko already has the equivalent of the 6105 on the market, and that's the Turtle. So why would they release the 6105 in a reissue that would directly compete with the Turtle? I'm glad that they didn't, because I think the Turtle aesthetically actually looks sharper. It's wearable on more wrists. It is, you know, it's got larger, easier to read hands. These pencil hands, these stick hands on the 6105, you know, they don't do any favors when it comes to extreme legibility. So, you know, Seiko already has the watch on the market, and it was always their plan to do it at the luxury price point level. But what makes it $4,000? Well, it's made right alongside Grand Seiko. It has a Grand Seiko base caliber. The 8L movement in here is no joke. They use MEMS technology in the production of some of these small vital parts like the pallet fork and the balance wheel. It's a higher beat movement. It has a higher quality hairspring and mainspring. It's adjusted to multiple positions and temperatures. And again, if you look at the movement architecture, it's the same base that they use in their mechanical movements in the Grand Seiko line. So it's really the top of the line movement that is produced by Seiko. I mean, when you're talking traditional 4 Hertz automatic or mechanical movements. Obviously, spring drive is another animal, and high beats are another animal as well. And so you look at the movement, you look at the finish work. This thing is just crafted to such a sharp level. It's Grand Seiko quality within the Seiko badge here. The Suratsu polishing is just, it's awesome. The bezel action is the best that I've seen on any Seiko or Grand Seiko. I don't know if you can hear that. And they've just done a top-notch job. And when you have what's arguably your most exciting design from your storied history, you just want to do the absolute best job that you can. And that comes with a price tag. But I'll leave you with one final comment as we close the video. I would say the watch is not overpriced. When you have 2,500 people that say, yeah, absolutely, I'll buy that watch. You know, it's not overpriced because people are paying the money. They're paying the retail price. They're buying the watch. The watch is selling out. Now, could it be overvalued? Absolutely. There's a very good argument to be made that it is overvalued because essentially the Marine Master, you know, you have the same bezel insert, you have the same DiaShield treatment, you have the same movement, you have the same quality luminescence, and you get the chunky funky bracelet with the extension system. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of difference when it comes to the two watches, but there's a big difference in price point. So you could say that it is overvalued, but is it overpriced? Absolutely not. Is Seiko crazy? Do they know what they're doing? Absolutely they do. They're not just shooting darts in the dark. You know, they have a very good marketing team strategy. They know what the market can support. And again, guys, they're no strangers to the luxury price point level. So the 6105, is it expensive? You bet it is. Are there other good watches out there at the same price point? Absolutely. You can get a great Omega or Tudor or a host of other brands and models out there. And if you feel that way, you should definitely go that route. But for the watch that it is, it's awesome. It's perfection. It's done so well, and I'm very glad that I have it in my collection. No regrets whatsoever. This thing is amazing, and I'm very glad they did it at this level as opposed to like a Turtle or a Samurai or a Sumo level. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll see you in the next video.